see me.
Only your foot.
That's fine.
Hey, anybody there yet? Now we wait for people to show up. Ain't nobody here. Where everybody at? Oh, god damn it. I gotta give him a better link. Okay. Hey. Okay, delete that one. And now the correct shit should be there. Where's my chat? Nobody's in the chat yet, though. Okay. Something's fucked up here. Hi. Hopefully people are in the right one now. Let's see. Hey, we got people in the live chat. Okay, let me change the link. Oh, fuck. Oh, no, I'm hearing a bunch of myself. Okay. Terrifying. Let me just change this URL real quick for the Patreonies who are actually accessing through the Patreon website, which I don't know how many people who, I don't know how many people there are who are like patrons, who are in, like who can access the Discord but do not look there for updates. Like, you know, I don't know how many people there are who are like $20 patrons who are not on the Discord and won't see the link there. But I try to make sure I get it to everybody, you know. But I do feel like the people in the Discord get much better warning about. Look at this fucking slice of pizza I'm eating. Imagine the scale this once was at. This was a fucking huge slice of pizza. Hey, first, there we go. Nope, I got here first. How's your incubation going, Digi? I'm not entirely sure what you're referring to. Where's everybody? There ain't nobody in here. Am I still live? Maybe perform the reward song during a live stream. That's not a bad idea. I think I considered doing that at some point. Let me make sure this fucking Patreon has the right link, because ain't nobody in here yet. But,
At some point?
yeah, okay, that's correct. Yeah, I considered doing that, but, like, I try to make them, like, the original idea of the songs was that, like, I would use the actual backing track of the song and sing over it. But then the first one I did, it ended up coming out, like, it wasn't, like, passable as a song, because I did it at Nate's place, and I wasn't really sure what the fuck I was doing. It wasn't super prepared. And then, it's just, like, a weird thing to sit down to do. Especially because I live in an apartment now, or a townhouse, and I don't want to be singing that shit at 2 in the morning, which is usually, like, when I would find time to do that. But I'm considering just getting rid of the 25 reward tier, because, like, obviously I have trouble keeping up with it. And while it was never meant to be taken that seriously, I feel bad about the fact that there is a reward tier offered that never gets done, you know? So, like, I might try to either replace it or just get rid of it, because obviously, someone says there's a single hair hanging from my beard. It's bothering them. I think I got it. I think I got the single hair. Although I keep feeling like there's more. I think I'm just pulling hair out of my beard at this point. Okay. Can you review the Digi? I'm sure I can. I mean, individually I could review any of my videos, and maybe I will. I mean, that's basically what the commentaries are, so that kind of already exists. My isolation's going great. I mean, it's not super serious, and I'm kind of on the way back already. Like, I'm kind of I don't know. I'm like reacclimating to society a little bit before I make my entrance, you know, back in next year, but like a less forward entrance, you know. But no, it's going great. I have like hella shit done that nobody has seen yet. And it's really funny. I don't know what it is about the mentality of not thinking I need a video out like every day or every week that has caused me to just stockpile a bunch of them. But it's made me able to think about the way they would be released in more creative ways. So you know, shit's gonna get weird in 2018, guys. I got lots of big ideas. I got lots of crazy fucking ideas. Alright, can you review the pizza you're eating? Okay. This thing, I'm going to give y'all a full advertisement here, because this place is pretty good. This is from Perry's in Rochester. It's the original huge slice pizzeria. And they got these gigantic fucking slices that are, like, literally bigger than my head. And I ate like half the slice and I was full. I normally order, like, this is like a New York style pizza, but like, it's a little thicker than like a typical New York style, but like, it's pretty close. But like, this thing, like, I usually order 2 slices if I go to a New York pizzeria, and I was full after half of this one slice. That's how fucking big it is. It like felt like it was never gonna end. Like, I didn't go into it thinking I wouldn't finish it, but by halfway through, like, I knew I wouldn't finish it. So, taste-wise, the sauce is fantastic. The cheese is good, a little bit much. The crust is good. It got lots of cracked red pepper and mozzarella, or what's the sprinkle cheese? That's mozzarella? Mozzarella cheese on it. No, it's not. It's Parmesan. What are you talking about? Parmesan and cracked pepper. Pepperonis are not that great, though. The pepperonis are okay. I don't think the pepperonis are the weak part of the pizza. But it's an overall very solid pizza. I'm very satisfied with it. Probably like $4 a slice or $5 or something. $4.50 a slice. Great price to get like full on pizza. Okay, Digi, cat soup, go, all the things. It's one of my favorite things ever, and you watching it and liking it is a dream. What is up? That's from Wada. You know, I was, like, really high when I watched cat soup, and it was just a bunch of really trippy, cool shit. I don't think I had any deep thoughts about it. I didn't, like, for me, it was just, like, lots of cool things that looked really nice. And it had this dark, twisted sense of humor. Like, you know, it's like cute but violent, but not so cute. Like, it's not like one of those saccharine pink things where a bunch of Furbies like murder people horribly. Like, it's cute, but it's clearly twisted. Like, the world is dark and harsh, and like, it's very violent, even though the characters are kind of adorable. But like, it doesn't feel hackneyed or unnatural. It's got like a weird MC Escher like influence, or not MC Escher, Salvador Dali like influence on it, you know, and yeah, lots of fucking weird shit happens in it. But the most interesting part about watching Cat Soup, and I talk about this in an upcoming 2 weeks review, so you're spoiling yourself really, but I didn't say nearly as much about it in the 2 weeks review as I did just now. Actually, I just, like, all that just came to me, but I talk about how the best part of it was that we had just watched Dead Leaves, which I gave a 10, and May gave a 9, and then right after that we watched Cat Soup, and it was the reversal. Like, both of us basically saw, like, our aesthetic as perfectly as imaginable, right back to back, and it was a joyous time. That was both, like, 40-minute OVAs that we'd been putting off for a decade, too, or I'd been putting off for a decade. Had you heard of Cat Soup?
No.
or Dead Leaves at all? No. I'd been putting them off for a decade. Okay. 1 video a day for every day in 2018. That's not impossible, but it's also not completely likely. It's more likely that I'll be doing like much bigger videos in 2018. But I do have something like, okay, I guess I can talk about this because it's probably over. I've probably finished this project and it probably won't continue. And this is something I've mentioned many times, that like, oh, I just recorded this for this thing that you won't hear till last year. So in order for me and May to practice drawing, because both of us want to, we want to try to become good illustrators, but neither of us has like the patience and to like sit down every day and try to draw for an hour only to be frustrated because your drawing looks like shit. And I was thinking about how most of the artists I know will just sit there and listen to podcasts all day while they grind out art, like they'll just sit there and fucking, like Ben listens to my videos. He said he listened to the Makoto Shinkai analysis 5 times already because he would just listen to it while he draws. So I figure, okay, you need super long podcasts and shit. I already blow through all my podcasts faster than I can get, all the podcasts I follow, I mean. So I thought I'll make my own podcast, and basically I figured the best way for us to like figure out, like have a make or break, we're either going to spend the rest of our lives drawing or not, is we'd have to draw for 2 hours every day for a month. And that would be exactly the amount of practice where like we're forcing ourselves to work past the early like, I don't like bit, and like forcing ourselves to do it, and like by the end of a certain amount of time it would be clear whether this was something we enjoyed doing or not. Maybe she would and I wouldn't, or vice versa, I don't know, but like it's a good practice period. And then if we did it for like a week and we like totally hated it, we'd just quit. So I decided the best way to have a podcast that we could listen to for 2 hours every day in January would be if I recorded a 2-hour podcast for each day in January. Then I figured, with that many podcasts, I could break them up into parts and release a mini podcast every single day for the entire year. And the idea is I need, like, I think it was 14, like, if I cover 14 different topics in each 2-hour podcast, then that's enough that one podcast translates to 14 days, and eventually you cover the entire year. So that's what I was working on for a while, was just, like, these totally random topic segments for these 2-hour podcasts. And it will bounce between me talking about a YouTuber, to me talking about a concept, to me talking about literally like what I'm eating right now, to me talking about like some anime that's on my wall. It's just like every single thing that was coming to mind that didn't fit into any other podcast that I had going on, like stuff that just wouldn't come up except for in the context of totally random shit. And so I recorded enough of those that it would last the first 3 months of next year. So, well, not quite, but I will have by the end of the year. And that's the goal I'm trying to reach, because I obviously didn't make it to having a podcast every day for January, but 1 week is still pretty good, and we can just listen to other podcasts if we really want to draw every day. So the idea is that I have recorded like 6 2-hour podcasts that will be broken up, and they'll go all the way to the end of March. And so every day you'll be getting like anywhere from 5 to 25 minute random podcast from me throughout 2018. And it'll be called Digibro Daily. So depending on if those are successful or popular, maybe I would continue to record them. Like once they start coming out, I can like look at the response to them and see if this is something that people really want me to continue doing, if they get decent views, and if they do, then maybe I'll pick it up again. It was fucking crazy. Okay. Yeah, sure, I'll definitely order pizza from Rochester. Nice advertisement. I guess Denial can enjoy the review. Denial had said, "Oh, fuck Perry's. I, never eat pizza, but I got some from here once. Was pretty good." Oh, he meant, "Oh, fuck Perry's," not, "Oh, fuck Perry's," which is how I read that at first. Oh, May, Animation Boy says, does May hate me for making stocking the toy aisle hell for her? I guess he makes stocking the toy aisle hell for you somehow.
Oh, Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol?
Paw Patrol.
Is that what these guys...
I don't stock the shelves.
Yeah, she doesn't stock shelves.
I deal with bullshit customers.
She usually worked in
So
customer service. May does not work at Target anymore. Yes, May is now an official hikikomori, like in everyone's favorite anime, Neo Yokio. Oh, she's taking off. All right. Is Ponyo your favorite anime film? It's in your favorite anime listing, but there might be other films there I don't know about. No, Ponyo is my favorite anime film. I think I said that in the Ponyo video. How likely is it to change your name to Digibeard? Not very. I mean, I like when people call me that. I think it's funny. That's been a meme name I've had. And to be honest, I mean, Digibro was originally a meme name. Like, it was just people who were shortening Digital Boy to Digibro, and I thought it was funny, and I kept it. So, you know, it's not impossible. But I feel like there's a lot of nerd dudes online who, like, identify by their beard. Like, that's like their thing is like, oh, I'm like a beard dude, like I've got a huge beard, you know, and I can't stand that kind of shit. Like, I hate when people base their identities around something that like a hell of a lot of people are or have. Like how like there's like black nerd, black critic guy, modern war negro, like all the black YouTubers are always like, I'm a black YouTuber, and it's like literally like that does not make you unique. It just you're like any black guy can be the black critic, you know. What is your critical style? That's what we need to know. If Catsup is May's aesthetic perfectly, her taste may be more similar to mine than yours, possibly. She just likes to watch animals die a lot. How likely is it to change your name to Digi? Oh, I already read that. Best episode of the HD podcast so far. Take on him getting Tommy from The Room next week. Oh, I didn't know he was doing that. That's good for him. I've never seen The Room still. But, you know, Tommy Wiseau is a character that I'm aware of. I haven't watched the entire H3 podcast yet. Oh, God, what would be my favorite episode? Probably the Joey Salads episode, because that was one of the first ones I watched, and that was, like, the biggest woke moment I've ever had towards YouTube, because, like, I knew that all this stuff was fake. And I knew that these people made shitloads of money, but I didn't realize they were so self-aware about it. That, like, Joey Salads is like, yeah, my videos are garbage. Like, they are just a product that I am selling, and not even selling it to the audience. I'm just selling it to Facebook, essentially. You know, like, it was so fascinating to, like, hear all the backstory of, like, you know, why his videos came about, and from there, that's been my favorite thing about HD Podcast, is that, like, you get the inside baseball with all these guys. Like, almost none of them, like, bullshit you. It's basically just the Bradberries who are, like, weird about everything. But, like, even SoFlo Antonio, even Jake Paul, they come on this show and they're, like, very upfront about, like, what their content is and what its intentions are, you know? And, it's been an eye-opening experience to realize that all these people, of course, are intelligent. Like, that none of these people are just an accidental success. They're all people who, almost all of them amazing businessmen, almost all of them people who recognized a trend early and, you know, and caught on to a wave at the right moment and have capitalized on it well. So, yeah, that's why I love that fucking podcast. If you want to draw, look into figure drawing. Yeah, I figured I'd probably do a lot of that. I know about figure drawing. Denial Reed. What specifically are the good things about Kare Kano? I'm planning to watch a fuck ton of romance anime and want to know what to expect, so I don't want to watch shows with the same elements in a row. Kare Kano, what's good about it is that it has all of my things I want from anime romance. Like, if you go watch that video, the conclusion of it is, like, here's a show that did all of it correctly, and that's that show. Like, the characters are extremely, like, fleshed out and interesting. You learn about their whole families, their whole personality, their psychological problems. Like, there's themes of, like, parental abuse on one side and themes of close familial love on another side. There's, like, the characters are both, like, geniuses, but they have, like, the opposite home lives and the opposite sort of temperament. And they fall in love in spite of that, or perhaps because of that. and you watch the progression of their relationship. And then after episode 18, you go, okay, the show is over. The rest of this is just bonus. That's how you need to think of it. Episode 18 is the last episode. The rest is just like, you know, it's just like set up for the next arc of the manga that did not get adapted. So just ignore the last 8 episodes. All right. Are you stressed out over the recent YouTube stuff, or are you over it? What YouTube stuff do you mean? Like, that's such a broad... The recent YouTube stuff that might stress somebody out is like a huge category of stuff. I don't know if you mean like personal stuff on YouTube, or like YouTube as a whole, or like there's a lot of recent stuff on YouTube. If you can draw and talk at the same time, maybe make a podcast out of it. I doubt I could do that. I would probably... I know the guy you're talking about, because he... Fishing in... Is he fishing in World of Warcraft? Never mind, I read your thing wrong, but I do know of a guy who draws... he draws pictures of the people he's interviewing while he's doing it. Or actually, I don't even know if it's while he's doing it, but he has that video in there. When watching older anime, do you notice era differences in tone compared to more recently anime? Confusingly phrased question, but I think the answer is yes. Older anime are definitely very different in tone from recent stuff. But like also very similar in a lot of ways. Like they're not as different as people might make them out to be. There's just a lot of different sensibilities to it, you know? Older anime, like TV anime especially, tends to be a lot slower. It's a lot more like directionless and like less plot centric in a way. Which I mean, a lot of people think modern anime is too, and a lot of it is, but like, oh fuck, how do I put it? I don't know how to describe the difference. There's a lot of difference. You'd have to ask me more about specific stuff. Congrats to May. Why? What'd she do? She ain't even in the room. Honestly, the Digibro Daily idea sounds like a flop conceptually, at least in your wider audience. Almost sounds better as a Patreon tier thing. Also, Digibro should be the November name. Here's the thing, Wada. The Digibro Daily, when you listen to episode 1, I put it like, this is a show that may or may not even exist. Like, I don't know if this is going to be released. I don't know what capacity it's going to be released in, but here's what I think it's going to be. And it's going to be bad, but the point of it is to be an experiment. That's how I phrased it in the beginning. The thing is that as it was going on, it became great. Like, some of these Digibro Daily rants are, like, amazing. And because they have such a broad topic swath, you know, it might be that some of these videos could draw in an unexpected audience. So, I don't know. There's a lot of different ways it could go. You know, like, it'll make sense as a series released on, like, the After Dark channel. And it's going to release at, like, a specific time in the morning every day that is, like, the same time when the Needle Drop and SNES Drunk put out their videos, and MKBHD. Like, it's going to be, like, a morning thing that you're meant to listen to while you wake up. And, like, that's how I'm going to be, like, selling it. So, yeah, I think it'll make sense once it comes. And you will love it, because it's just full of, like, fucking hilarious rants about random shit. So, you know, it's pretty entertaining. What's it like being the Moe anime girl that poured table salt on the driveway? Right? The Saltgate shit. Why don't salt driveways at table salt? Actually a Moe girl move. Okay, so here's what happened. I obviously know about the salt that you're supposed to put on the roads. And our neighborhood's usually salted. Sometimes our porch is also salted by, like, the neighborhood people with, like, the blue salt. And, but for some reason, it was because we had icicles on the top of the house, and they were dripping down onto the porch, and they formed this huge, like, ice stalagmite that, like, we couldn't get rid of. Like, you could stomp on it, you could try to snow shovel it, it was not going anywhere. And so May said, like, oh, I'll put ice on it or something like that. Like oh, or not ice. I'll put salt on it. Like, oh, we should salt it, you know. But she phrased it in such a way that made it out like she already had the salt, like that she either at home at her, you know, dad's house had rock salt, or like somehow here we had. I was like, I didn't know what she meant. So I was like, okay, maybe she just means that, because I asked her, like, I thought you're supposed to pour the salt on before, not after. And she's like, oh, it'll work either way. And I was like, okay. So maybe she just means, like, any salt. So I grabbed the table salt the next day, because I was trying to get rid of the damn thing. And I, like, just dumped salt all over it to see what would happen. And at first, it started making, like, cracking noises. So I was like, oh, it must be working. So I poured on some more. And then nothing else happened. Like, it just cracked a little bit, and that was it. And I was like, maybe this is not what she meant, or maybe we just need stronger salt, you know. But yeah. So that's why I poured salt on the driveway. Do you ever have trouble discussing shows with people who know less about anime or have seen far less than you have? Yes, that can be definitely difficult, but it's not as hard for me because I can explain all the way up to something. Like, if I was trying to explain to May, like, something about, I don't know, the latest Gundam, like, I will explain enough of the rest of Gundam so that she gets it. Like, I can do that because that's literally my job, is to, like, explain shit to people who don't know the shit I'm talking about, you know? So it's not too hard for me, but it is harder to, like, relate to somebody if they don't see anime the way you do, you know, especially when I have to talk to, like, other critics who aren't anime critics. That's always awkward, where you're like, they have, like, an idea of what anime is in their head, and you don't really know how to easily communicate to them that, like, there is so much more that you know about, you know. Also, how are you enjoying the Winter Wonderland? Do you like living in the north? No, it's shit. It's literally, I don't know if you can see out my fucking window, but, like, the amount of white that it looks like on screen, that is an open window, by the way. The amount of white that it looks like on screen is how white it is outside. And it's, like, getting dark. Like, I can tell it's getting, like, night is falling, but everything is white, because there's constant blanket of snow. Snow is fucking madness here. And I'm not going to go on about it because I think I talked about it in like 2 different podcasts that I recorded in the last few days. So, do you think Vic and Hope got weaker in recent Zelda Let's Plays due to Vic's issue with the gameplay stressing him out? I don't know. I mean, I've only seen the first episode of the new Zelda Let's Play and it seems good. Victor was analyzing Zelda in depth. It sounded really interesting. So I really hope he does. He was saying he was going to do an analysis, and I don't know if he means like just saying stuff in the like while playing, or if he means he's like literally going to make an analysis video. I really hope he does, because I've been trying to get him to do that for fucking years. This is going to be a short live stream. Too few people to keep this going long. I hope in the future there might be ideas for these streams other than just Q&A. I'd never even considered that, but that is worth thinking about. Plans for Christmas. So we are going to be driving to Boston. I don't actually know what we're doing Christmas morning or day. Like, we're going to hang out with May's family, because obviously I've got nobody to hang out with up here. And then, like, we're going to hang out with them on Christmas. Then we're going to go to Boston and hang out with some of the PCP boys for a couple days. So that's the Christmas plans. It's going to be dope. How do you feel about your work-life balance? It's excellent. I feel as though I am living the ideal lifestyle right now, especially since cutting down on my internet usage. Because basically my time is either spent like with May, which is all fun, you know, and that's what I would consider like my life. You know, like the life portion is me and her doing stuff together. The work portion is anything I'm doing, you know, related to obviously my YouTube career. And when I've got like a concentrated amount of time to work on that, it's just like shit yesterday. Okay, let me list all the things I made yesterday. Let me start from the beginning. So I woke up, and first things first, I had a script I'd written the night before. That's part of a bigger script thing I'll talk about sometime later. But so I finished this script from the night before. Like, I just woke up, tidied it up. Then, and this was because, like, May was gone all day. She was, like, out shopping with her sister and then, like, had to work. It was her last day of work. So I had, like, 12 hours to myself, basically. So first I finished that script. Then I watched an OVA and wrote a full script for that. Then I recorded the next 2 weeks review episode and the next 2 Manga Mondays episodes. Then I recorded a random ass video idea I had for Digibro's Turntable. And then I watched Sword of the Stranger and ended up writing an entire review of it. And all of that was just yesterday. So I put finishing touches on 1 script, completely wrote 2 scripts, recorded 1 random vlog, 2 of my vlog show episodes, and a 45-minute podcast. Pretty fucking productive day. So I feel like my work-life balance is like the most on point ever. And the only reason that people aren't seeing a lot of these videos is because, like, I'm trying to release them in different ways than just a thing is done and it comes out. Like, there's other ideas for how to release stuff that I'm working with. So I'm kind of, like, building parts to different things in a way. Like the 2 scripts for shows that I just mentioned, and the Sword of the Stranger thing just kind of became a full review. It wasn't even supposed to be. It was supposed to be a part of this other thing. But said other thing is like a compilation of scripts in a way into 1 video. It'll make sense when I'm ready to talk about it more. Oh, congrats to May on being a hikikomori. I'll be sure to let her know. Redigi Daily, haha, yeah, people have been really good at listening to you phrasing off what things are at the start of them before. That's true. Well, you know, this one... It's gonna be a time, alright? Like, it's gonna be a really fucking weird project. Like, I went into it with the idea, like, this is gonna be bizarre, and, what shirt are you wearing? Gintama, dude. It's my fucking Gintoki shirt. It says... Tekezuru? Tekezuru? Tesso... I can't read it backwards. Anyway... It's Gintama. That's what matters. Like she already had the salt. Anime tier misunderstandings. Yeah. You sound like the anime lolly girl you've always wanted to be. Yep. I am indeed literally Yui. It's the weather of the city sucks. It's super hot in the summer and super cold in the winter. Like the snow now is ugly and horrible. I don't think it gets that hot here in the summer. I was here basically all summer, and I mean, the thing is, it was like a little hot in Rochester, but like down in Virginia Beach, it was like shit. Like we went down there because remember I traveled all summer, and like right in the height of like July, yeah, we moved up here on like the 1st of July, so like right in the heart of July, there was like a week that we were in Virginia Beach, and it was like maximum humidity and heat possible that it could have been. And we were like, wow, Rochester summer is nicer than Virginia Beach summer, you know. But then, of course, Rochester winter is a absolute nightmare. Digi, quick tip about winter darkness. This is actually the darkest 5 days of the year due to how globe spinning works. Should be getting lighter here, from here day by day. We don't have like extra, well, we have a little bit of extra darkness. Like it starts getting dark around 4:30, but it really only fully gets dark at like around 6, which is not that different from what it was in the winter in Virginia Beach. Like maybe like a 15-20 minute difference. But yeah, it is still, I mean, it's still noticeable. As a content creator / critic, do you think it's wrong to get upset if a lot of your recommendations you make get ignored? I don't think it's wrong to get upset. That's why I don't make a lot of recommendations anymore. Like, I got so sick of recommending people shit and then they didn't watch it that, like, I usually will only recommend people stuff because I do get, you know, asked a lot. If they either seem like really intent on watching the stuff. Usually these are people who are like, oh, I just got into anime like 5 months ago and I'm binging everything, like tell me what to watch. I know those guys will watch shit. Like Gunts, that dude will watch shit, you know. But and then like if there's people who are like, oh, I'm doing like a research project or something, I'll give them recommendations. But like I got so used to people just not watching any of the shit I told them to watch as a kid that I fucking totally gave up on trying to recommend people shit. Do you have any names you're interested in when it comes to naming your kids, even though we're all just gonna call them Digibabies? That is, if you're still doing this when that time comes. I don't think we have any real ideas for... The only name that I, like, think about is Ian for a boy, and that's only because that's what I wanted Shade to be named when I was a kid. So, like, my brain is still kind of latched onto it a little bit. But, like, we have no idea what the kids would actually be named. Like, that is a bridge. So I don't really want to think about that too much, because I want it to be in the future, you know? I'll enjoy that when the time is coming to enjoy that, you know? We'll save that for later. I think the definition of being a creator critic somehow includes your recommendations not going ignored for the majority of times. Yeah, that's one of the best things about being a critic, though, is that people will listen to will listen to me sometimes. This may seem like a weird question, but a friend of mine asked me, so I figured I'd ask. How fucked up is filing taxes when you are a Patreon content creator? Very fucked up. Very difficult. I still owe the government $1,000, and I don't know why. So that's the level it's at, is I literally don't know why, but I owe the government $1,000. That's how fucked it is trying to do taxes if you're a Patreon. Like, I don't know what the problem is. So I don't know, like, I mean, I know how to solve it is I send them another $1,000, but, like, I don't know why I owe them when I filed my taxes the same way I've always done it, and I have no idea what I did wrong. You know, so that's how fucked it is. Phantom listened to Digi when he was on the Dick Show. He goes into that there. Yeah, it's gotten worse since then. Like, that is a continuing narrative that's been going since the Dick Show back in, like, May or April or something. Any more debates with Econ in the pipeline? Also, I love the shirt. I mean, it could happen if Econ and I have something to argue about again. Like, we were talking about, like, possibly doing a podcast together for a while, and then we had that idea, and we took a while, and he's a real busy dude. Like, he does all kinds of different projects, and, you know, people keep bugging him about getting into YouTube, and he keeps, like, making all these excuses about why he won't do it, but, like, the bottom line is the dude's busy, and he doesn't have time to make YouTube videos, like, you know, like, or doesn't just want to spend his time on that, and I think that's the biggest thing at the bottom of it all, but, like... yeah, if we have more debate ideas, I'm sure he could be persuaded into another one. How do you feel about this year, and are you looking forward to 2018? This year is great, because I met May and moved in with her, and it's been great. Best 7 months of my life, probably. So, 2018 is going to be fucking dank. 2018 is going to be really fucking dank. 2018 is going to be, like, incredibly fucking dank. And not just because I'm going to be smoking dank for most of it. I can't type, I am driving. Has he answered my question about his favorite top 5 Digi videos of the year? I didn't even see that question. Okay, well, we're going to have to go... Is this, like, on all channels? Because there's, like, hundreds. I don't know if I can pick out my top 5. I accidentally clicked Essential Digibro. I am signed into Digibro After Dark right now. That's right. Okay, let's go find the every YouTube video featuring Digibro playlist. Here we go. Okay. I think that... No, I didn't mean to actually play the playlist. God damn it. Okay. I have 2,295 videos. How many of those do you guys think were made this year? Like, I don't... Okay, first let's try to find that out. Because it'll be easy to figure out. Because all we got to do is find, like... we just got to find something that would have come out at the very start of the year. Like a best albums of 2017, or 2016 rather. Or something like that. Every YouTube video featuring Digibro. I'm scrolling and scrolling. I'm down to 300 and we're still in Manga Mondays. So I know we've got a ways to go. Oh my fucking god. What is wrong with me? Baby, what is wrong with me?
Yeah.
There's one video was just called Autism. I'm assuming that was a Mumkey video that I was in, but it's just called Autism. Oh god, this goes on forever. I'm in the 500s. Okay, I'm seeing stuff that looks like it would have to be from the end of the year. No, we're still in RadCon. Okay. All right. No. This is still from January. This is still... How many fucking videos did I release in January? Or was I a part of? December 20th. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to say... The new year probably started with... Here we go. Pub Crawl episode 48, Champagne at New Year's. Wait, it's a December 20th episode. But that would mean it was released a week later. So that's probably like the last... Probably like the last thing of the year. Yeah? You guys think? Okay. So I released 600 videos this year. I released 600 videos this year. I have a fucking problem. And you want me to pick out my top 5 Digi videos. Okay. We've got the Almost Nothing music video. That's a contender. We've got... Oh my god, there's so much fucking shit from RadCon. The Failure music video is also a contender. I don't know if I like it more or less. The Get Action video, I don't like as much as the other two I mentioned. I mean, do my album videos count? Like, is Gay and Dead, can that be one of my top 5 videos of the year?
Yeah.
You think that could be a top 5 video? Okay.
It's a video.
There is a video of it. I always forget this fact. I never think of my music as video.
If it wasn't on YouTube, it wouldn't, but...
Okay, so we're gonna say... Alright, here's some good videos. We got K-On! The Ultimate Adaptation. That's a pretty good video. There's like 1,000 meme videos from when Mumkey was at my house. Atlanta Vlog. Insufferable Social Media Argument was a pretty good podcast. I don't know if any specific episode of that would make my top 5, though. God, I'm in the part now where it's like the DVD Tuesdays and Manga Wednesdays. The Kobayashi's Dragon Maid videos were really good. I am definitely proud of those and the Girlish Number video, which I probably passed. I can't even, like... I'm trying to, like, go through this relatively quickly, but as a result, I can't process what I'm looking at. Plebe and the Weeb... Fucking, which I wouldn't really count as a Digi video. It's really more of a Jesse video. Fuck. Alright, Gay and Dead. The Dragon Maid videos. The what's it called? Girlish Number video. Like, the collective work of the Digibros turntable would be on here. Like, no single video, but, like, the entire existence of the channel, I'm very happy with. Like, I really like how that channel's come out. There's a lot of Digi and May Do, some of which are pretty great. Some of those would be amongst... Well, I'm just going to go with, like, the obvious answers. So, like, the stuff that obviously appeals to me the most strongly and that I'm the most proud of. So, my number 1 would be Gay and Dead. My number 2 would be probably the Girlish Number video. And then the Maid Dragon videos. And then the Makoto Shinkai video. But... there's one that has not been released yet, the one that's currently being edited by Devu. I don't know if it'll come out this year or early next year, but if it comes out this year, it will be in that top 5. It might even be like number 2 after Gay and Dead, because I really like this video that Devu is currently working on. So yeah. Alright, okay. Now to scroll back up. That moment when you see a blanket spookily moving behind Digi and it takes you a second or two to realize it is May.
Where?
Were you a blanket moving in the background a while ago?
A long time ago.
Yeah.
I was sitting over there, like...
It took me a long time to read all this, to look through my
God,
videos.
like, in depth.
This is how far behind this chat I always am on all streams. Like, at least this far behind. And usually they're faster if it's like a real, like a non-Patreon live stream, you know?
Yeah.
The baby's real name is going to be Digi Nugget. Guns has left feeding the content machine due to career focus with his real writing. R.I.P. this era. New host being looked for. Just thought of that since you mentioned. That sucks. Guns was a great co-host for that show, but you'll have to find someone. Oh shit, Digiboys needs to do a top 10 Digibro videos of 2017. That needs to happen. Good luck figuring out the top 10. I mean, a lot of them should be obvious. Like, it'll probably be a lot of main channel videos, maybe a few After Darks that, like, really stuck out with certain people. But good luck getting everybody to agree on a top 10 if you have, like, more than 2 people deciding. I guess 2 people would be even harder because you can't have any majority votes, so you need, like, 3. This guy sent me his 3x3 wants recommendations. We got Gao Gaigar, KOE? Is that... What is KOE? Like, you don't mean... Do you mean Koe no Katachi? Is that just Koe for Koe no Katachi? Gao Gaigar, Koe no Katachi, Steins Gate, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, Little Witch Academia, Keion Madoka, Kimi no Nawa, Boku no Hero. Watch everything from Studios Gainax and Trigger, for starters. And other than that, I've just watched lots of anime. Like, you've got, like, it seems to me, based on your 3x3, that you've probably not seen a whole shit ton of anime. So just watch, like, a shit ton of anime. And eventually you'll find some shit you like. Wasn't January when the Radcon videos started coming out? Yes, that would be when. Gao Gaigar is a giant mecha show that is for children, but eventually becomes, like, badass in the second half, apparently. Short podcasts, no more. We have about 3 hours of Digi-scrolling his own content feed. Yeah, short live stream, you mean. Yeah. Well, I figured that would help. That would help to stretch it out a little bit. But, you know, I didn't know it would go for 600 fucking videos. I was going to make it easy and make it only about the main channel, but this is fine too. Yeah, if I just used the main channel, it would be pretty easy to make a top 5. I'd like to see an 80-hour podcast of Digi watching all of his own videos from the year and commenting on them. I could very well do that. I mean, that doesn't... I mean, eventually that will exist if you follow the commentaries in the Patreon. That's exactly what Wada said right afterwards. Read top 10 challenge accepted for Wada at least. Koe no Katachi. Yeah, that's what he meant. Okay. It will probably be a lot of main channel videos. Bitch, I'll make it myself and it will max have 1 main channel video. Yeah, I mean, if you're counting, like, music videos, I can definitely see, like, if you like my music videos, those would be, you know, a big part of the list. Oh, what is my favorite? Did the video for Humans Are Okay come out this year? Because that's, like, my favorite. No, not this year?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it didn't.
What was the first? Because Final Stretch was this year, and so was... Yeah, you know what? It would have been just Final Stretch, because that was the last one we wanted to do from the album. Okay, where am I? I was going to review main channel Digi videos back when Digi made the I Am an 8 out of 10 YouTuber Patreon podcast. Ended up being eclipsed by school. Hopefully I can get that ball rolling over my New Year's break. I like how you and Wada both, like, after hearing me call myself an 8 out of 10 are, like, trying to prove, I don't know, me wrong? Or I don't know if that's your goal. I know that's Wada's goal. The funny thing is that when that clip came out on After Dark, like, I feel like Wada, I think you were one of the people who was like, oh, you should make that, like, one of your After Dark preview clips, because maybe it'll, like, make people cool down towards you or something, like, that, oh, you don't think you're that much the shit, you only give yourself an 8 out of 10, when the reality was that the reaction was like, this motherfucker thinks he's an 8 out of 10? This guy ain't no 8 out of 10. This guy's like a fucking 5 out of 10. Like, fuck this guy. And he got, like, a shitload of downvotes, or dislikes, rather. I don't even think I even saw the comments on it. I think I've had comments off for long enough that I have not even seen the comments on that video.
I don't want to see the comments on that video.
Have you seen them?
Yeah.
What are they like?
It's just dumb.
Is it all just like you're not an 8 out of 10,
Yeah,
you
a lot
fucking
of it is
cracker?
like that. Some of it's like, oh yeah, I agree, but a lot
Yeah.
of it's like, LOL.
Well, it's because whenever I post, the problem is I try to give my videos like provocative titles so that people will click on them. But the problem is that then like a bunch of people click on them just to be an asshole. Like they see the provocative title and they're like, "No, and then they click no, and it's like, it's just to make you watch the video. I don't care about cultural appropriation in Pokemon Sun and Moon. It was why there's a question mark at the end of the title, you know. But whatever. Idea for live stream to make, if not only Q&A, stuff like Samurai Nig, but live.
Oh, God.
Samurai Nig was recorded with me in, like, what, was I in my underwear or just pants?
Were in your underwear.
I was completely in my underwear, like, drunk, right?
High and drunk.
Was I high? No, I was, yeah, that's right, I was high. I don't know if I was drunk.
No, we drank a little bit, but not enough to...
Okay. So I had a beer, and I'm like standing up in front of a microphone, like gyrating and like
oh my God, it was a lot.
in my underwear, and like dancing and shit the whole time. That's how stuff like that gets made. So I don't know about doing that live. That's a little personal, you know. About how long do you sleep each day? You do so much shit that I can't even get close to that level of productivity, even when I don't have school. I sleep more than most people. I sleep like 10 hours at a time often. Lately more like 7. Like lately I've been getting less sleep than like before, but because I just like tend to go to bed at more normal hours. Anywhere from 7 to 10 hours. But I do not necessarily sleep on like a normal 24-hour circadian rhythm. Like I might be on a 30-hour rhythm. So like maybe I sleep 10 hours, but I'm awake for 20 hours, you know, and I'm going on that cycle, so it's hard to, like, put it in simple terms. That moment when you're in the bath watching the live stream and you have to get out to drive your mom to your grandmom's because the washing machine is broke. Well, how are you watching it in the bath? Like, you have a laptop? I don't take no electronics into the bath. Also, do you have, like, a cool bath, or are you just taking a bath because you feel like it? I wish I could watch YouTube in a bath, but, like, I would need to have, like, a nice bath that I could actually relax in, you know.
Yeah, I have a shitty laptop.
Or, like, a waterproof phone or some shit, you know.
No, just put your shitty laptop. That's what my laptop's for.
Uh...
In the bathtub.
Oh, and IMO, you've only made one good music video, and that is Final Stretch. I know you like Final Stretch, but I can't watch it, and I don't remember if I told you why, but it's because I've got a bunch of dandruff in my beard in the video, and it's all I can look at when I watch the video. So I don't know if you were already aware of that, or if I was trying to hide that because I didn't want it to, like, affect people's perception of the video. Like, I was like, oh, it's better if you don't know. But, like, that's why I can't stand watching that fucking video. I'm gonna close the blinds and turn on the light, because it's dark. Didn't even realize the fan has been going this whole time. Hey! Hey! Okay. Good, the comments were a shit show. Yeah, I don't doubt that. What video, not video series you made has the most work/research ever put in, and would you repeat such a huge task if it's successful? The most research... Maybe Hideaki Anno. Yeah, it might be Hideaki Anno. Or Nanoha. Nanoha took a lot of fucking research, which is hilarious because like it probably involved the most of me like watching and rewatching shows and like being prepared, because for that I would have had to watch. No, because I only did the movie for the first series. Like I rewatched the first movie, then I rewatched Nanoha A's the TV show and the movie. I watched all of Strikers, which was 26 episodes, and all of Vivid, which was 12, and then I read the whole Vivid manga and read like all the other manga, and I read like the wiki and supplementary material, and like I basically became like a borderline expert on Nanoha in order to do that video. So yeah, and that wasn't like, that is a lot, but it's not too much. Shinbo in the 90s, actually, that probably had even more research, because that was a lot of fucking, like, random OVAs and shit that I had to watch. And, like, but both of those, in fact, all of my big research projects, there needs to be, like, a good in. Like, if I'm standing there with a director and I've seen none of their shows, I'm probably not going to try to make something about that director. But if I've seen, like, a quarter of their shows, I'd be more, you know, like, incensed to go do it. So, like, with Shinbo, I've been following that director for, like, 10 years. I know his shit really well. Now, I didn't know his 90s shit that well, but most of it was OVAs. But the most important part was that I'd already seen Yu Yu Hakusho. And, like, he's involved in, like, 20 episodes of that show. So, like, it would have been really hard to talk about his involvement, like, his place in the 90s without talking about Yu Yu Hakusho and watching all 112 episodes. But I had already done that. Like, I had just watched it, like, a year before and was, you know, was already, like, well aware of the show and Shinbo's influences on it. I'd written about Shinbo's involvement in my Yu Yu Hakusho video. So with that huge burden out of the way, I was willing to take on the rest. In Nanoha's case, I had seen, you know, a bunch of the iterations of it already, so I already knew what I was getting myself into. And this upcoming video that I'm, this next one, that's coming out, is I watched, like, one of this guy's movies, and he only had 4 movies, so it was like, okay, like, I've already done a fourth of it, you know, let's do the rest. And as for, like, research outside of just watching stuff, that's much easier and more fun, because it's basically just opening tabs on shit. Like, you start from, like, either Mal or Anime News Network and figure out who the person is, and then you're just, like, finding any link you can online about them, which is usually not that much. And, like, even if you dive into, like, Japanese, like, searching their name in Japanese, you might not find anything. Like, that was the case with this guy who I'm covering next. There was very little information about him online, but I extrapolate a lot of stuff out of it just by, like, you know, by my own knowledge of anime history and shit. So, it's gonna be a really cool video. That's one of my best research projects because it's super original, but, like, yeah, I love doing just the hard, like, looking at websites, clicking on names part of the job. That part is just fun. It's watching 30 shows so I can talk about them, where, like, a research project can become too much. So I would definitely do as much as I have done so far, but, like, as for doing a hell of a lot more, like doing part 1 of my 16-part Shaft project, you know, there's a reason that hasn't been done yet, because Jesus Christ. Alright. Okay. OMG, I fucking got stumped by the 8 out of 10 comment section. That is what made me plead you to finally close them off in the upload settings. I gotta tell you guys, you know, I closed comments there, but they're gonna be back open next year. But there's a good reason for it. Because, and I'll just give you guys a spiel that I'm later gonna give, probably in a video somewhere. So, what I've come to realize, because I've been blocking myself from being able to read comments and closing them on the channel, but I really like comments conceptually. Like, I hate the way they're executed. I hate the way that everyone does comments, but, like, conceptually they're great. And I've realized through having them turned off just how often I scroll down to check comments when I need to, like, confirm something about a video, or, like, see if anybody else has mentioned this thing, or, like, just, you know, like, there's a lot of reasons that I do go into the comments and find the thing I'm looking for. So I'm like, man, comments, the ideal comment system would just be a moderated one. Like, it wouldn't be having no comment section. It would be having a well-moderated comment section that's good, which I used to have back in the day when I could moderate my own comments, and I can't anymore. So basically, I'm going to hire May to be, like, a comment admin, and among other things that she's going to be doing with me. But, like, she's just going to, like, literally become a comment moderator. And so I'm going to open them back up and have that. And hopefully that will make the comments great again. We'll see. What do you think is a good entry point for people not into you to get into After Dark and Patreon content other than your anime content? Let's Plays or music? Best entry point for people not into me to get into After Dark and Patreon content. I would say, like, the best After Dark vlogs. Like, just send them whatever is your favorite, like, rants or weird, funny shit, like me doing the otaku workout training or the one with Digi and Guy workout training. Like, if you want to make somebody, convince them I'm doing like fun, weird, kooky shit, stuff like that, or the music videos. But like, the easiest in is just gonna be like really intellectual vlogs, you know, just make me sound smart. And that's, I think, the main appeal I have. Like, if you just show somebody my music, it's not going to communicate to them the appeal of the other shit, you know. Gunt says, it's weird, I don't put scores on artists, but I do on their art. I feel like placing a score on a person's entire production etiquette is, and mindset is whack. Thoughts? I agree. I would not put a score on an artist for the most part. I might score their entire, like, collective body of work, you know? But, like, that is not a score for them as a person. It's like, the stuff you've made has cumulatively been an 8. But, like, it doesn't mean that you can only make an 8, you know? Which I think calling somebody that implies. Obviously, you know, I am an 8 out of 10 in my video is, like, a joke. But, most of the comment section was just like, ugh, Digi isn't an artist. Yeah, of course. Also, your flow is your best attribute as a rapper. Can you do some freestyling for us? You want me to do some freestyling?
Yeah.
Alright, hold on. Let me get a fucking beat. Alright. I just typed trap banger. Let's see what we get.
It's probably
Oh shit, y'all. I realize this is literally what Wada was telling me to do, but whatever. Yeah. I put a little bud down into my pipe right before I got on to look at lights on the screen where everybody's mean, but sometimes they can be a little better if they flash in the green. But you know I like that color on all of my shit. Got the money, got the lit, 420 nigga. There you go. There's some freestyling for you. Hopefully that isn't music that could get me in trouble or anything. Or post on YouTube. Not that it'll be on, like, you know, not that it'll be publicly available or anything. Gun says, have you ever listened to Brockhampton this year at all? I haven't. I have listened to like a few songs from them. I haven't gotten into it. I haven't quite clicked with it yet. But in spite of that, it was actually a big influence on Gay and Dead because fucking Blind Skywatcher was listening to them and he was like way into it and he was like playing it for me like the first night, like as soon as I arrived. And I was like kind of like not that into it, but I liked what they were doing with like integrating like nu metal screamo-y elements into random songs, and that was what inspired me to then immediately do that on Nihilistic Suburban Void. So you can partially blame Brockhampton for Nihilistic Suburban Void. I don't remember if I talked about that in the actual video about the album's production. What's the poster on your right side, the one with the blonde lolly and the dark-haired girl with what looks like cat ears? That is the Mayoi and Shinobu from Bakemonogatari. She does not have any cat ears, though. She's just got little tassels in her hair. Dead leaves a 10, video incoming. No, but I might write about it later for the sake of something else in the future that I'm just being like really fucking ambiguous about for this whole live stream. How are you enjoying your Wii U other than what you mentioned in the 2 weeks review? I mean, that's the last stuff I've played. I haven't played any more stuff since then. So far, like, my impression of the Wii U is that it's a very strange console. It feels like Nintendo was like really trying to go in a certain direction that just didn't work for them. Like, something about the games feels like very corporatized. Like they were all made with the same vision in mind, and it didn't really work out. But like some of them are better than others. You know, I need to play more Mario Tennis and try out Breath of the Wild and some other shit. Blah, 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 blah. Also, Cappy asked me to bring up you're supposed to mix Clamato with vodka, so maybe try that if you still have it. That just sounds like a gross Bloody Mary. You want to drink some Clamato mixed with vodka?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gonna try that?
Sure. Are you gonna try it too?
I will if you do, I guess. I'll take a sip. I won't probably finish a drink of that.
It would be good for you now.
No. What drink are you drinking now after drinking every drink video? Did Orangina become a mainstay? It's the only drink in the video I can buy in Sweden, so I got happy you liked it the most. No, it did not become a mainstay, but it is good. None of them, most of the drinks were fucking terrible. I guess Gatorade for May. Oh, the cheap ass Wegmans Gatorade. The yellow ones specifically, we started buying a lot of for working out because they're like. Yeah, they're like 50 cents for like a whole thing of Gatorade. It tastes exactly like real Gatorade. So that did become kind of a mainstay.
I don't even like Gatorade, and the sale's too good.
I like that green shit a lot. Like when I'm high, that shit is like the best tasting drink in the whole fucking house. I don't know why. Alright, how do you feel about Discord in the past month? I just haven't really been using it much. I've been trying to avoid it because most of the time that I go on there, it's just drama of one form or another. You know, like I can't open Discord without somebody bringing out like either something about trolls or somebody's arguing with somebody or someone's rehashing some drama. And I'm just like, I don't need this taking up my time, you know? Adding to your research answer, do you sometimes get completely lost in a website during your research and pretty much binge it, like someone might do for TV tropes? Yeah, I did that for TV tropes like 5 years ago. I like read all of TV tropes. If you type into Google Cyrano and Purple Steve, you will get my web fiction that I was publishing for like a month or two in the early part of 2011 or 12. I don't remember which. Maybe 2012. And then you'll also find a TV tropes page that I made for my own book and then like filled it out like extremely detailed. Like every trope is chronicled that the book has so far. When it was only like, I don't know, like less than 25,000 words, you know? No, wait, way less than that. I meant to say less than, like, we'll say less than 5,000 words, probably. Let's see. Every frame of painting in their closing remarks stated the importance of reading books in your research and not just going online. Will you start reading anime books if you're doing more research? No, and only because I can't read Japanese, and I feel like the anime books that are out in America, I do want to read them. Like, I want to read the popular ones everyone talks about, like the Moe Manifesto and all that bullshit, but, like, most of it's old and behind the times, and there's not really that much info about the kind of shit that I'm researching. Like, this video I'm about to put out on Mori Masaki, this director that nobody's heard of, like, there's nothing I could have read about him, so, you know, I think the kind of videos I do are just too different from what Every Frame of Painting does for that to apply to me in the same way. But it is a good idea to, like, I mean, if you've read the Moe Manifesto, it'll probably change the way you talk about certain things. But personally, I can't stand when I'm watching a channel and they're just constantly citing, like, book sources. And I'm like, God damn it. Just pretend you made it up. You have all the examples too, which I then click on each one to see what the tropes they have. Then click on those tropes, and whoops, it's 4 a.m. Yeah, that used to happen to me. How long until you regrow the long-ass beard? Will you braid it if you do? Probably never. It kind of needs a trim right now. My mustache is really in the way. But I'll probably keep it, like, relatively long throughout the winter just because it's fucking cold and it's good protection. But once winter's gone, you know. It's done. Long ass beard was a one-time deal. Okay, I'm just now at where they were hearing the freestyle. I'm just now at that point in the chat. Okay. Still hyped for Well Laid and Well Paid in 2019. I hope it comes out in 2019. Spice and Wolf S3 versus Well Laid, Well Paid. Oh, wait, 2019. No, I hope it'll be out before 2019. Well Laid and Well people have like made it a meme or something that like Well Laid and Well Paid isn't coming out when it's been like 6 months since my last album. Like no rapper ever except for like Lil B or Brockhampton like puts out 2 albums in 6 months, you know.
You already did that.
Yeah, no, I mean I've put out like I've definitely put out like, I've put out an album every year so far, like a full LP, you know, with Bedroom Bedrock and Gay and Dead. And then there's like a ton of extra shit in between those. And there's still other extra shit that I'm working on now. But like the specific project, Well Laid and Well Paid, I want to be something very different. And like I don't have the means to create it yet. So like I'm still making music, it's just that project like needs to wait till I know exactly like who's working on it. And if it's going to be me, then I need to learn how to make a very specific type of beats. But I do have a double EP, a 6-track double EP that is coming, I don't know, maybe by the end of the year if I can fucking find time to finish it.
I wouldn't make promises like that.
It's like almost done though.
I know, but we're only gonna be here for like 3 more days.
Yeah, I could finish it in a day if I really set my mind to it.
I believe you.
I could finish it in a day. But anyways, what's your favorite Western film? Speed Racer or something? Yeah, Speed Racer. Currently, honestly, with Western films, everything needs to be reassessed because, like, it's been a fucking eternity since I've seen most of my favorites, and I've been kind of, like, trickling them into my life recently, and, like, sometimes I rewatch something, and it's better than I remember. Like, we rewatched Kill Bill, and that's exactly as good as I remember. It's still one of my favorite movies. I rewatched, with May, who'd never seen it, Pink Floyd's The Wall, which I was pretty into. Like, I liked it a lot, and I remembered liking it as a kid, so that's cool. But then, like, recently, like, early this year, or maybe late last year, I rewatched Kingdom of Heaven, which I had previously thought of as one of my favorite movies, and it is kind of shit in a lot of ways. And I was like, man, that's not as good of a movie as I thought it was in my mind. So I'm not confident about any favorite movie, any Western film opinions, except for like a few that I've watched recently. Can you define the word tropes? I always feel like I can use it correctly and understand it, but I don't know how to explain it. Go to the TV Tropes website and read the front page where it explains what tropes are. Opinions on the double confirmed Trigger Patreon. Yeah, I've heard about this. You know, it's funny, like, people keep trying to undercut the excitement by being like, it's not actually going to do anything. Like, everybody just fundamentally misunderstands how anime is funded. I think what people who keep saying that don't understand is that the point of this is to try to change the way anime is funded. And, like, I don't know. It really depends on how successful this Patreon is. Like, whether this is going to have any effect. And it's going to have to be, like, insanely successful for it to have any effect. But, I hope it's a step in the right direction. I hope it's at least a stepping stone towards something, you know. There's a store that sells New Type magazine if you still want magazines sent to you if you're willing to translate it. Well, I don't want the Japanese ones. Yeah. Dude, it's because you kept saying Well Laid, Well Paid ain't coming out for a long time so many times, so we memed it. Also, with 600 contents in a year, your music feels slow already, man. Yeah, it's funny that it feels that way because, like, I put out enough music in a year that if I was a career musician, I would be, like, insanely rich. Like, if this stuff was selling the way that, like, a popular artist's music sells, and I was putting out this much of it, I would be, like, rolling in money right now. But, like, because it's, like, underground and not a lot of people listen to it, I have to put out, like, shitloads of it for anybody to care. And, but, you know, with an album, like, with YouTube videos, they are, by and large, disposable. Like, my main channel shit is not, but, like, and even some of the vlogs are not, but, like, by and large, YouTube shit is you watch it and then you never see it again. Or, like, you know, you watch it maybe once a year. But like an album is something that, at least for me, I'm gonna be listening to that shit like on and on and on forever. So like the value is vastly higher than that of a YouTube video. So like to me, if like an artist is putting out an album every year, they are fucking spoiling me. Cause like for most artists, the most albums I'm gonna like from them is like 1 to 4. I don't think there's an artist where I like love more than 4 whole albums of theirs, you know? So like if I get 4 great albums in the span of 4 years, it's like you guys can retire now. It's kind of how I feel about Shinsei Kamate-chan. They put out like 4 of my favorite albums in the span of like literally a year and a half or some shit like that. And then they went to shit, and I don't even care because like they did enough, you know? Did you watch the Miyazaki documentary film? No, I have not yet watched it yet, but I've been meaning to. Thank you for reminding me. I should watch that soon. Didn't Tatsun say the point of the Trigger Patreon was to get money to the animators directly, though funding production of art books, etc.? I hope so. Do you think that's more valuable, or do you want it to actually fund anime? I mean, I don't know. I don't know which one. I haven't actually like read anything about it yet, so I don't know like the first thing about what they're actually doing with it. But I just hope that it does something good, you know? Knowing that 600 contents a year is why I feel like you are dead and I have no content to consume when you are gone for 10 days like this. Yeah, well, you need to diversify your viewing habits in case things like this happen. You know, like, I used to watch Endless Jess at all hours a day last year when he was like literally human content machine, just like me. And now I never get Jess. I get him once in a blue moon, and so I have to fill my time with the vapid sluts of Anthony Fantano. And who do you think I watch the most other than Fantano? Because I know Fantano, you've got to like every time you walk in the room, fucking Fantano's voices. YMS.
Yeah, Casey Neistat.
Casey Neistat. There you go. Casey Neistat and the needle drop. Yeah, those are my vapid fucking sluts. Oh god. You just need to get a viral music hit with a dance like Gangnam Style, raking the money on that video and never work again.
That's a genius.
I would love, dude, I kind of hoped like Humans Are Okay could be that. Like Shade's dancing, I really hoped that would go viral.
It has to be a catchy dance.
Well, okay, here's the thing. Because the original vision for the Humans Are Okay video, some people might have heard this, but I don't know where or how I've explained it. The original idea for the Humans Are Okay video was come up with by me and Shade, and it was going to be, because Shade has like this habit of doing like these micro dances, where he'll just be like, ding, 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 and then like he'll do a different one, and they're never the same. He would do them differently, like, every time. And so I had this idea that we'd film, like, clips of him dancing in, like, different locations, and each one would only be, like, 1 bar. It would just be him doing, like, one little 4-second dance, and then we'd film another one. There'd be, like, 40 of them. And then those would just, the whole video would just be different Shade dancing, but it would all be, like, wide-angle shots of, like, different places outdoors in Virginia Beach. But, like, I never had the, like, balls to go ahead and do it. And then Victor was just testing his camera one day, and he knew of my concept, but he just kind of had Shade dance around Norfolk because he was testing out his camera. So it's not the same video as what I had envisioned. And while I do think it looks better than what I could have pulled off trying to do that with Shade, I think the meme value of the idea I had would have been a lot higher, you know? But I don't know if it would have been enough to be, like, viral or anything like that. Lana says, and yeah, I do listen to Gay and Dead. I've heard it like 100 times, dude. It ain't enough. It's like 45 minutes long. Listen to more rap music. Just like listen to more shit than just me. That's what I'm saying. Can I diversify your viewing habits when your content maybe have a hard time even watching anime even more? You know, like the content is slowed down, so now you go watch the anime. You just get into that for a little while, and then you get back into my content, you know, and like you also like fucking guts. He says, in the eve of recent content drought, I have also completely sold my body to Fantano. Listening back through 2017's best albums with him is sick. Yeah. Oh man, that's a fun project. Like listen to all 50. Dude, go listen to go to the Deep Cuts YouTube channel, Deep_Cuts. He's also a music reviewer, and while I don't really like his reviews that much, he has super weird taste in music, and he's into like all the most experimental frou-frou bullshit. But the best part is that every time he makes a list video of any kind, he'll put a Spotify playlist in the description that is like extensively long. So like he did his top 10 albums of the year, and he put like 2 songs from each artist. Or it wasn't even top 10, it was just like top 15 or something. And like it's just this massive like 4-hour Spotify playlist of his stuff. And I was just like going through it like, all right, this band's gay, this one's cool, I guess I'll listen to that again, you know. And I just really appreciate that effort, which is why I did a lot of that on the Digibros Turntable channel as well. So yeah, it's a fun time doing shit like that. But yeah, that's how you can diversify, you know. Don't only watch Digibro content. It's not good for your brain to only take in one voice and viewpoint. You need some start listening to the Dick Show. Like all my time is like the Dick Show, catching up on H3 podcast, Vic and Hope here and there, like. Then there's lots of stuff I just throw on like to have in like for 10 minutes, like Fantano or Dead End Hip Hop, the Rude Jude show, if that actually comes out. It's been less frequent lately, but you know, you just gotta find more shit to listen to. Get into the those three comedy brother guys who do like 1,000 podcasts. I don't remember what they're called, but there's these 3 brothers who do a bunch of funny podcasts, and they seem kind of cool. My brother and me. That's the name of like their main one. Okay. Going to play Ultra Sun / Moon. We tried. May was gifted both of them for her birthday, and so we were gonna play them. How far did you get?
First gym.
Did you beat the first gym?
Yeah, I beat the first gym.
I haven't even made it out of like the starting village. Because like it's the same fucking game. Like they didn't change enough about it for it to come out just like
more differences
a year later.
Later you get there's a little bit more, but
Yeah.
it's still like the same.
It's because you can't fucking skip the cutscenes, which go on for fucking hours, and it's ludicrous. So, yeah, I don't think I could play that until like I'm well like forgotten about Pokemon Sun and Moon, like because it was the last one I played, you know. Okay, he talks about it on the Anti Gamers podcast. I'll throw up the link for the live stream channel on Discord. Is Digi and May over? I don't think so. It's not over, right?
Let's play show?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you think it's over?
I don't think so.
I don't think it's over. We're Digi and May is gonna be it's probably gonna be its own channel next year, I think.
It's gonna be more than just games.
Yeah, but like it's gonna be a lot more than video game commenting videos. But like those will probably go on that channel if it you know, I mean when it happens. In the eve of recent content I already read that. I don't care what it is, but you make every podcast you're in 10 times more interesting. Oh, thank you. It's because I'm good at podcasting. But I think, you know, I think The Dick Show is an even more entertaining podcast than any podcast I do. Go listen to Biggest Problem in the Universe if you haven't listened to all of it. That's a great one as well. The dance needs to be easy to perform. Crossed hands and bouncing is easy to do. Also needs to be repetitive. Dude, if you want great musical writing, go to Gunt's vlog and read him destroying Eminem's new album. Gunt's is like a great writer. Link me. I didn't know Gunt's had a channel. I do listen to The Dig Show. Well, listen to it again. That's what I did when I first moved in. Guns tore into revival. You and everybody else, I guess. Fantano gave that shit a 2 out of 10. That was brutal. I had an evil master plan where I would shame you for never putting out the $25 reward song in a voicemail on the Dick Show, because I know you listen too, but it naturally never got picked. Yeah, I think they get a fuckload of voicemails on the Dick Show. Like, not only do they get a ton of them, but like the ones, like he stockpiles them and like has them from weeks ago and like just only picks like the funniest ones, because it seems like they get a shitload. Wada says May is going full Leah. That's Donkey's girlfriend. That's I think that's part of what inspired this in a way.
Probably.
Like,
Definitely deep roots and
because that was like
donkey lore.
that was like the first or second H3 podcast I saw, and I watched it just because I like Donkey a whole lot. And I had never heard of his girlfriend. I had no idea they had like a side channel. And watching them together, like, it was a comment because I already felt like we were like Ethan and Hila, you know. And then like when I saw Donkey and Leah, I was like, oh, this is also the same thing, you know. And it's just reassuring to know that there's like other couples who've done it, you know, like other couples who've been like famous guy integrates girlfriend and it works. And like both of those are great examples. And I think that personality wise and like the nature of their relationship is very similar to ours. Like when I watch both of those couples, I'm like, oh, these guys kind of seem to feel the same way about each other that we do, you know? So, I think it could work. But, you know, we'll find out. Maybe we'll tear ourselves apart by YouTubing.
That'd be really tragic.
I think we'd kill the YouTube before it killed us, but, you know.
I think so too.
I'm glad it's not over. You guys have great chemistry. I agree. That's why we're going to do even more videos together. I linked Gun's blog in the Discord. He tore into Eminem way before Fantano got to it, so we were all waiting for Anthony to follow with the same. They gave it the same score. Good to know. Any plans on watching the new Star Wars? I know you didn't like the last one, but Film Crit Hulk loved the new one. I mean, this is one of those things where, like, I'm seeing the whole spectrum of opinions. Like, YMS basically was like, you know, which is exactly what I'd expect from him. Like, that dude does not like mainstream, like, adventure, you know, movies. Like, he's not into that shit. I haven't seen what the Red Letter Media guys said about it yet, if they've said anything. I haven't read Film Crit Hulk's thing. I listened to Super Bunny Hop has his new podcast. By the way, Wada, listen to the new Super Bunny Hop podcast. It's not amazing, but, you know, it's Super Bunny Hop and some other older guys, like, talking about video games and shit. But they did, like, a 40-minute segment on the Star Wars movie, and it was fascinating to hear the conversation because, like, Bunny Hop loved the movie. One of the other guy, and they all saw it twice. Bunny Hop loved it. And he saw it as like this weird like subversion of Star Wars, and he loved it for all kinds of like particular reasons. One of the other guys like hated it or just thought it was like really stupid, but had a good time with it because I guess it's a well-made movie. And then the third guy was like kind of in between the two of them. And I've related to everything everyone was talking about, like. The stuff that bothered those guys, I felt like would bother me, but the stuff that Bunny Hop loved about it, I also felt like I could appreciate. So I was like, I don't know where the fuck I would fall on the spectrum, but the point is, I don't really want to go see a Star Wars movie. So, like it's, no matter how good it might be, it probably will not be my favorite movie of the year. I probably won't care that much about it, and I do not see that many movies. So to me, like, getting up and going out to the movies to see fucking Star Wars of all things is just like, nah, you know, like I'm not interested. There's this Patreon you have called Bailey who works in film in London and he always shits on YMS. YMS is, I shit on YMS a lot too, even though I like him a lot, but like, it's just cause he's so into the like idea of objective, like, reasoning for why a movie is bad or good, that like logical failure is a problem with movies and stuff. And it's like, I just don't think he appreciates that logic is not the most important thing for a movie to have. Like, a movie does not have to be realistic and even self-consistent to be good. That's just something that he has like decided. Like, for him, it has to be consistent with itself to be quote unquote good, you know. And I think that defines the way he rates movies. And like, it's an interesting taste. Like, if I'm looking for a flawless movie, I can just go look to, you know, whatever he gave the number one spot on his year-end list. Like, that is going to be a flawless film, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a great film, you know. I feel like I've explained that in other videos, though. I'm sure I've gone on that rant before. Super Bunny Hop is one YouTuber I always feel I should like but never bothered watching a single video of. Go binge him, man. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. He's like me, but for video games and with a much stronger focus on journalism. Like, and way more research and way more due diligence and way more, like, like he reads like an old school like paper, he reads like a fucking news reporter, like, but like one with a little zazz, he's great. How is Finish or Fail looking on the schedule? I don't have a schedule anymore. Wada, you heard the new Digi Does Life. I threw that shit away. When are we gonna do another Finish or Fail?
Whenever you're ready to. Whenever you've prepared yourself.
We have to finish New Game.
Yeah.
That's the only reason we haven't done it. Like, we watched all of season 1 of New Game, and that was fine. And then we started watching season 2, and we both kind of had this feeling like, I bet I would watch all of this, but not right after having watched season 1, because it's kind of fucking repetitive. So that's why we haven't gotten to the new Finish or Fail yet. But I think we have reasons to want to finish New Game anyways. I don't know. I think the closer you are an industry, the more you start believing in objectivity in your field. Bailey believes that about editing, and I feel similarly about animation. It interests me. Maybe so, but YMS is not involved in the film industry at all. So, like, I mean, he's seen... I guess, okay, I will say this, that right now, the kick I am on is very much about, like, in fact, I'm kind of doing some stuff that involves, like, more quote-unquote objective critique, in that I've been writing a lot about anime visuals. Like, a lot of the stuff that I'm writing behind the scenes is about visuals. And, like, I think it's because I've gotten to a point where, like, I can really see the difference between high-quality visuals and low-quality, and sometimes it's not obvious, but then when you look at it, it's way obvious, and, like, so I'm really hooked into that right now. And it's not even so much about, like, oh, this is objectively better than that, but just like I've established a clear set of guidelines, and it's like, here's, going by this rubric, this kind of looks like shit, but YMS is just like so like, he doesn't really, like, his fucking quickies and his reviews, like, they're not good videos. Like, they're really bad videos, and the main intrigue is just, like, fitting these movies into the narrative of YMS's tastes, because he has such distinct tastes, Have you seen Tommy Wiseau's Twitter reemergence? I have not.
Oh, God.
May's, like, pulling out her phone and fucking following him immediately. How long until you watch Little Witch Academia? I don't know. We finished the OVA, so maybe soon. When I said schedule, I just meant, like, in the events currently going on, but you also confirmed it just has not been getting made. Yeah, no, it is not. We have not been working on Finish or Fail because we have not wanted to watch fucking New Game. And also, we've been busy with other shit. But, like, yeah, if it comes back, it'll be next year. Like, we've got too much shit stacked through the end of this year, and, so it probably won't be tomorrow, Obvious visuals. Read that one Shafted Made in Abyss video. Could you give us the general gist of that video since it was dead? Unless the stuff on DDL was all it was. I said most of what it was going to be on Digidoes Life, but, like, the basic idea of it would be that I just went through the show, rather, and, like, I might show you, like, a really great looking clip and be like, here's why that clip looks so good. But then look at this one, which is not as good, and, like, compare this to what it could be. Like, because if you were to watch, say, like, part of the thesis, like, the opening bit was that I was going to talk about how the show had been compared to Ghibli, because, like, some Ghibli staffers worked on it, and it has, like, really great animation in places, but how, like, the difference between a TV show like that and a Ghibli film is that a Ghibli film will all be beautiful. Like, every single moment, every expression will be unique and animated. A character just smiling will be, like, an individual animated, like, smile. Whereas in a TV anime, there's just always going to be parts where what's happening is not that visually interesting, and unless you really, like, go full Bakemonogatari and, like, make everything artsy and everything, like, distinctive. So, like, Made in Abyss, yeah, there's a lot of great looking stuff in it, but there's also a lot of mediocre stuff and occasionally some pretty bad stuff, you know. And I just wanted to show that range. And it was going to be like a really long video. Like I was planning this to be like a huge deep dive into the aesthetics of the show, but then like it just wasn't coming together in a satisfying way. And I felt like I'd be better served not like the only reason to do it on Made in Abyss was that this was like a big show that just ended. So that's why it would be the one I would take apart. And like it was a good fit, but I felt like this isn't the right way to talk about this subject. Like I can find other ways to cover this in future videos as opposed to this way. And I guess that's kind of what I'm working on now. But yeah, like that's why it was canceled. Did you have any ideas of shows similar to Urara Meirocho that are cute and soft but have this non-stop dark undertone that just creeps around from time to time? Not with a hard change like Maruka, though. I didn't even know that about Urara Meirocho. I dropped that way too early. I would say, obviously, Gakko Gurashi is a perfect example. Which is School Live in English. Like, that show, the whole point of it is that it's a slice of life show with a very, very dark undercurrent. But like mostly it is a cute slice of life show. And then you've got what's another great example? High School Fleet plays around with that, but it's not ultimately that dark. Girls Last Tour, which is airing right now, is kind of like that. So yeah. Gonna renew the P.O. box for another 6 months? Nope, because I'm gonna be moving before 6 months are up, and I'm just gonna leave it closed for the next like 5 or 6 months till I move, because you know, no reason to keep it open. I'm feeling doneish too. I've been up to be up early for tomorrow. All right, this is the first time people have been like, "Hey, this is going on a little long." It's only been an hour and a half, but people are like tired. Having actual plans for Christmas. Just an interesting nugget of info I thought I'd bring up. Perhaps it's obvious, but animators for feature films have more time to make things look beautiful and TV doesn't. Yeah, that's kind of the point I want to make. It's just like TV anime can't look as good as films, you know? And like, I feel like it seems like obvious common knowledge, but like I don't feel like people really appreciate how big the difference is and how much like it could be helped. Like, Made in Abyss could look a lot better than it does, but like it's because of just how much limitation there is on like all TV anime that it has that problem. Anyways, I'm not seeing any more chat, and some people are talking about how they're getting tired and they want to leave. So, I guess we can wrap this up. Goodbye, everybody, unless anybody's gonna say anything before I finish the sentence. Yeah, agreed. Agreed with what you're saying, Animation Boy. Here we go. All right, goodbye, everybody. Bye, bye.